Hey everybody, Judah Hoover here from the Landlords and Investors Mastermind Group, walking a C-class property today. We have walked a lot of other properties, a lot of D's and some A's and stuff like that, and a B. I wanted to walk a C-class property because we haven't seen much of them. And the great thing about C-quality properties is, like a B quality property, they're the best of both worlds. You're going to get some appreciation, and you are also going to get pretty good cash flow out of them as well. This property is on a halfway decent block here in downtown Lancaster. There's been a whole lot of improvement going on around it. We are right in some major thoroughfares. We're just on the south side of the city, which is not the greatest. We're in the 300 block of Lancaster, and it's a really great neighborhood, but it's always going to be kind of a working class neighborhood just because the properties don't have a whole bunch of architectural detail. They were built kind of as simple properties. So even as property values in the rest of the city go up, properties in C-class neighborhoods like this are going to be held back by just the fact that there's not a whole lot you can do from a design element. Even if you did want to fix them up and make them absolutely gorgeous, they're going to be kind of limited by their design. But as a C quality property, you're going to get a mix of cash flow and a mix of appreciation. You're going to get more cash flow than you are appreciation, and you're going to get better quality tenants than you would if you were in a D quality neighborhood, longer tenant stays, more stability, and that kind of thing, but not certainly not perfect people, certainly not going to be headache free or stress free. This is a gorgeous property, was recently renovated by the owner, and he did an adequate job. Did not do an excellent job, cut some corners, maybe cut just a few more than I think would have or could have, but still a great property and ready to move in. And we're going to take a look at it and show you kind of what the finished product on a C quality property is, so you know what it is that you're looking for and kind of what you're shooting for. All right, so here we go on the inside of this property. First thing you notice is the baseboard and all the trim, the walls and the ceiling are all the exact same shade of white. That is perfectly acceptable in this application. I say it's like the white tornado came through. We have new carpet. We don't have all new registers throughout the house. Windows are fairly new and they look really great. Unfortunately, whoever did the painting after the carpet was done, and we see some painting mistakes throughout the house, and we're going to talk about and look at that in a little bit. The first thing I always do whenever I walk one of these properties, however, as you know, is come into the basement, and filming, walking down these steps in and of itself would be a bit of a fun chore. Filming and walking down the steps is as well something different. And the first thing I do is I always look at the foundation. Do I see any bulging, major cracks, major signs of settling or shifting? Do I see any deflection? Do I see anything that scares me there? And then I look at the rafters and floor joists, and I see some interesting stuff going on here. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, I'm looking at my viewfinder now. You can definitely tell that there's some fire damage here. That just isn't black. When you see that type of cracking, that means that you're also dealing with fire. The fact that it's painted white means that it was kilsed or binsed at some point to try and hide the smell. Not hide the smell that, try and pretend like it never happened or be nefarious or anything, but just hide it so that it doesn't always smell like a campfire in here, which can be the case if smoke restoration is not done properly. Here's this notching that I talked about. So at some point there was a pipe that ran, from over there someplace to over here someplace, and some genius contractor at some point along the line decided to cut this notch out and run the pipe right through that instead of running it underneath like this or going a fair ways up and punching a hole like that. That's scary. That's dangerous. You do not want to see that, and that is not a good sign. That, coupled with this broken. Now these are just broken floorboards. They're not the actual support columns and joists like we see here, but still, that combination of broken floorboards, the fire damage to begin with, that notching, I would find out what it would cost to get not an electrical engineer, a structural engineer in here and get this stuff priced out. Here we have a double joint that was sistered. See how these joints here are about an inch, inch and a half across, and these here are about 2.5 to 3 inches across. This is a new joist. This is a new joist. This here is a new joist that was put in, so like 3 joists there in a row. So probably a basement fire here at some point. And then we go back to the original ones. On the original ones, I don't see any major cracking or settling or anything that I find to be too scary or objectionable. We've got our gas line there. 2 main gas lines coming out of that gas meter. One's going to go right here to the furnace, a little bit of an older furnace. Cover's pulled off. Someone was working on it at some point. And then so we've got a forced hot air system. We can tell that by this ductwork. And then right over here by the hot water heater, you can see by this double elbow that there was originally a gas hot water heater in here, and somebody put in this electric hot water heater. Again, it's important to know if you're dealing with an electric hot water heater or not. Also, look here at the bottom of this. This is some of the signs of wear that you're looking for when you're wondering when you're at the end of your life. And if I pull back just a little bit, can you see how that was not only patched or soldered or something, but then somebody also painted over it to try and even add more life to it by some type of epoxy or patch or something like that. If you know what that product is, maybe you can let me know down in the comments below. It's obviously holding water, but I don't know. It's going to start leaking in a day or 3 months or maybe 3 years. But that is definitely a hot water heater that is on its last leg, and you need to know about that. A little bit of water here in the basement, a back step. My light did not turn on the way that it's supposed to, and I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. But there is glistening sap on the underside of that OSB board that's there, oriented strand board, instead of a Bilco door. It's just boarded over, and when it got so hot that somebody cooked the heat right out of it. This is another room that I can see better than you guys can. And there's more spiders and more spider webs in this house than any I have seen in a long time. All right, we are going to exit the basement. Not the best basement I have seen, but certainly not the worst either. Let's go take a look at the kitchen, because we saw another gas line coming back here to the kitchen, but it is an electric stove. So we have an electric stove in the kitchen, could probably be converted to a gas stove. We've got washer dryer hookup right here in the kitchen, which is nice, because sometimes they put those washer and dryers down in that dank, scary basement, and that is just frightening. Refrigerator comes with this property. Now, as we've talked about in the past, you can decide whether you want to put a refrigerator in or not, and I could argue both sides of that coin. I think there's a lot of cases and a lot of good reasoning to put a refrigerator in a rental property and good reasons not to. When it all comes out in the wash, I side on the side of putting a refrigerator in any rental properties, because it's just less money that the tenant has to pay. You see that this is what all you need to do in these backyards. The tenants aren't going to use them much in a C-quality property, in a C-quality neighborhood. All you got to do is get it cleaned up and not scary, frightening, awful looking. Looks like somebody at one point girdled that tree so that it slowly dies and comes down. I'm not sure if that was this owner or the previous owner. It looks like it was done a little bit ago. But that tree is not long for this world as a result. But anyway, that's, don't landscape. You're not going for the Shangri-La effect. You're just looking to get it cleaned up and serviceable. This painting, I mean, I don't know who did this painting, but this is a little bit on the poor side of what I would find acceptable. Now, also, you know, I have a dad that didn't teach me how to hunt, fish, or play golf. He taught me how to paint. And so when I see paint like this here, and I see paint like what we saw in that kitchen or in that living room, I mean, that's just white on dark, dark chocolate. It just jumps out. I don't know who painted that and then just decided good enough and kept on going on with their day. You know how people who use the wrong kind of there or the wrong which, you know, grammar Nazis, that just kind of bugs them. I mean, I see paint like this and it almost kicks in my Tourette's and I just start shaking and twitching. So, you know, this paint was slapped on here coming up into the second floor. Hey, there's my coffee cup. I knew I had a cup of coffee around here someplace. So we've got a nice 3-bedroom property. Bedrooms are kind of small, but again, the sun is setting. It's getting dark early these days. We've got nice windows, white tornado look because of white ceiling, white wall, white trim paint, but with relatively new carpet. This place shows really nice. And here's our bathroom. Set my coffee cup down. Loud exhaust fan there in the bathroom. So, not the greatest shower surround, but serviceable to be sure. That's looking a whole lot dirtier on camera than what it looks like in real life. You know, in these C quality properties, there's just always going to be some funkiness here where the tub doesn't exactly line up with the shower and you've got to caulk the heck out of it and just kind of make a workaround and build out like that. That's fine in this application. Don't worry about that. Don't try and better homes and garden these properties above what they actually are. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. You just kind of decide to accept it being what it is. Man, it's so much white, you were almost lost in a blizzard there, trying to find things for contrast. So this is bedroom number 2. Again, same sort of thing. Over here, we have bedroom number 3, a closet, nice big bedroom. That right there is where a smoke detector is supposed to go. These are those lights that you can buy at any home improvement store. As soon as Lowe's or Home Depot wants to pay me money, I'll make reference specifically to their company. Look, here's an old grate, you know, an old register that is got some paint caked on it. Looks kind of funky, but you know, it's fine. It is what it is. I think, is this a door going upstairs? Let me set my coffee cup down here. Nope, just a closet. Okay, I thought that I had missed a 3rd floor on this on my walkthrough. I was pretty sure that I had counted right. Anyway, so that's what we have here. Nice 3-bedroom house in a C-quality property neighborhood. Hey, so this is pretty cool. I was walking back to my car from just walking that property and I saw this sign here, Future Home of Beaver Street Park. Obviously, Community Action Partnership, CAP, Lancaster Coalition, which usually works a little bit more in the north side of this city, has started working down here a little bit more, and just some great community involvement there. They're going to be totally changing this section here where there would normally be about 2 or 3 houses, but they're going to put a community park in here. And that is just one of the things that you look for when you're trying to see what is this neighborhood going to become, what's going to happen here. And when you see good stuff like that and the property's on the move, you know that you're looking at some pretty nice C quality properties. Never going to be A quality, might be B quality, but definitely a neighborhood and a community that cares. You can hear there's lots of kids running around, having fun, playing here. I really like this area of town. All right, so there we go. I just wrapped up that C quality property, excuse me. Hopefully you can tell some of the differences between a C and a D quality property. You want to be careful that you're not calling your D's C's or your C's B's. You don't want to get in the habit of rounding up, because you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. But a C quality property like that, you're going to have pretty good really good, cash flow. Still definitely on the cash flow side of the equation versus the appreciation side. But when you see community parks going in like that, kids that are running and playing in the streets, and listen, I know, not everybody likes the sound of kids running around and thinks that they can be a little bit noisy. But here's the thing: if there's kids playing in the streets, it means it's a good neighborhood, and it means it's a safe neighborhood, and it means that you're probably okay. By and large, don't disagree with me in the comments on that. I know that that's not the gospel truth or anything, but more than likely, if you see kids and parents who are willing to let their kids play outside, you're probably in a pretty good area. Comment, share this video, like this video, tell me what you think. I'm really excited about this property, and after being here and walking it, it's definitely one that I wish I owned, but I was glad that I was able to get to share it with you guys. And check back next time for another great video just like this.